The 2025 Formula One season began with huge excitement and high pressure. Fans had been waiting all winter to see the new cars, the new driver line-ups, and whether last year's champions could keep their momentum. The opening races gave us the first clear picture of which teams were ready and which were still struggling to find their pace. Red Bull, as always, entered the season with big expectations, while Ferrari and Mercedes showed signs that they had learned from their mistakes in 2024. The midfield was tighter than ever, with Aston Martin, McLaren, and Alpine all fighting hard to prove they belonged at the front. From the very first laps, the competition felt fierce and every point mattered. The new season also brought new rules that changed strategies, making races even more unpredictable. For the drivers, it was not just about speed, but also about keeping cool under pressure. The opening rounds showed us drama, close battles, and surprises, reminding everyone why F1 is the peak of motorsport. The season start set the tone for 2025, fast, intense, and full of storylines that fans can't stop talking about. New cars. The 2025 season brought a fresh wave of innovation as every team rolled out their new cars. With updated regulations pushing for better balance between speed and efficiency, engineers worked through the winter to squeeze out every bit of performance. Red Bull's car immediately stood out, looking sharp both in design and on track. Ferrari focused heavily on reliability, hoping to finally turn promise into results. Mercedes aimed to recover from past struggles by reshaping their aero package, while McLaren introduced bold upgrades that gave them early momentum. Aston Martin also pushed hard, determined to stay in the top fight after showing promise in previous years. Each car came with new tweaks to suspension, aerodynamics, and power units, all aiming to gain tenths of a second that could change a season. Fans quickly noticed the visual changes, from slimmer sidepods to redesigned wings, but the real story came from how these cars handled in racing conditions. Some teams impressed right away, while others discovered early issues that demanded quick fixes. The new cars became a major talking point as their performance shaped the first part of the championship battle and hinted at who might dominate 2025. Top teams. As the 2025 season unfolded, the fight at the front quickly showed who the real top teams were. Red Bull came in strong, once again proving why they are the benchmark in modern Formula One. Max Verstappen wasted no time reminding everyone of his speed and control, while Sergio Perez aimed to stay consistent and support the team's push for the title. Ferrari, hungry after years of close calls, looked sharper and more confident, with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz delivering powerful performances that kept the pressure on. Mercedes, though still fighting to regain their old dominance, showed flashes of brilliance, especially with George Russell pushing hard and Lewis Hamilton determined not to be counted out. McLaren also broke into the conversation, surprising many with their improved car, and Lando Norris leading strong charges against the established giants. These top teams set the pace, making every qualifying session and every race weekend a dramatic battle. For fans, it wasn't just about one team running away with it. 2025 gave a mix of contenders, each with real strengths and weaknesses. The top teams became the heart of the story, with their rivalries shaping the season's biggest headlines. Driver moves. The 2025 season came with major driver moves that shook up the grid and added new drama to the championship fight. Some changes had been announced late in 2024, but the real impact was only seen once the racing began. Young talents were promoted into bigger seats, eager to prove they belonged among the stars, while experienced veterans found themselves under pressure to defend their reputations. One of the most talked about shifts was at Ferrari, where stability became key as they kept faith in Leclerc and Sainz, betting on continuity to deliver results. Meanwhile, McLaren made bold choices, giving their rising drivers the platform to challenge the old guard. Mercedes faced tough questions about their future line-up, with Russell growing stronger and Hamilton's legendary career under constant spotlight. Red Bull remained steady with Verstappen at the core, but whispers about future contracts and team balance kept fans guessing. In the midfield, moves like Alpine and Aston Martin switching strategies showed how even small changes could reshape the grid battles. These driver moves didn't just change the lineup, they changed the energy of the season, making every on-track fight feel personal, as drivers fought not only for points but for long-term seats in Formula One's most competitive era. Big races. The 2025 season has already given fans some unforgettable big races that set the tone for the year. From the opening Grand Prix, the action was intense, with wheel to-wheel battles reminding everyone why Formula One is the ultimate test of skill and courage. Circuits like Monaco and Silverstone brought their usual drama, but it was the unexpected tracks that delivered some of the most thrilling moments. Rain played a big role in a few rounds, turning strategy into chaos and allowing underdogs to steal the spotlight. Red Bull and Ferrari traded blows in classic duels, while McLaren and Mercedes kept themselves right in the fight, proving that the top battle was not one-sided. Overtakes in the final laps, safety car restarts, and surprise podiums kept fans glued to the screen. Each big race not only affected the standings but also changed the psychological momentum between teams and drivers. Mistakes were punished, brave moves were rewarded, and every victory felt like a statement. These races reminded fans that no matter how strong one team looks, Formula One is always unpredictable. The big races, so far, have set the championship on fire, raising the stakes for every driver chasing glory in 2025. Surprises. The 2025 season has been full of surprises, keeping fans and teams on edge. Some drivers who were not expected to shine suddenly delivered strong performances, grabbing points and even fighting for podiums. At the same time, a few big names struggled, leaving everyone shocked when they failed to qualify well or finished outside the top 10. McLaren's rise as a real challenger caught many off guard, showing that they had closed the gap faster than expected. Aston Martin also managed to spring a few surprises, proving that their car could battle with the best on certain tracks. On the other hand, some teams that entered the season with high hopes found themselves falling behind, unable to unlock the pace of their new cars. Weather changes added more drama, with unexpected rain turning simple races into chaotic battles that reshuffled the grid. Rookie drivers also impressed, surprising critics with their calmness under pressure and daring overtakes. These shocks made every race weekend feel fresh and unpredictable. The surprises of 2025 prove that in Formula One, nothing is certain, and even the smallest twist can completely change the story of a season. The standings in the 2025 season have already become a hot topic, with every race weekend reshaping the championship picture. At the front, Max Verstappen once again leads the charge, but the gap is far from comfortable, as Ferrari and McLaren drivers have kept constant pressure on him. Charles Leclerc has been especially consistent, scoring points in nearly every race, while Carlos Sainz has delivered strong results to keep Ferrari in the fight for both the drivers' and constructors' titles. McLaren's Lando Norris has also stayed close, proving that he can challenge the giants if the team maintains its pace. Mercedes remains just behind, with George Russell quietly collecting points and Hamilton pushing hard to climb higher in the table. In the midfield, Aston Martin and Alpine have been trading places, with every point proving crucial for the final order. The battle in the lower half is equally fierce, as rookies try to prove their worth against more seasoned names. With only a handful of points separating many positions, the standings show how competitive 2025 has become. One small mistake or one big win could swing the balance completely, keeping fans glued to every update as the championship fight continues to build. What's next as the 2025 season moves forward? The big question is what's next for the championship fight. The opening races have shown us speed, drama, and surprises, but the real test lies in the months ahead. Will Red Bull keep their edge, or can Ferrari and McLaren close the gap as upgrades arrive? Mercedes also remains a wild card, capable of turning things around if their development path finally clicks. The summer stretch of races will be crucial, with back-to-back weekends testing reliability, strategy, and team endurance. Driver pressure will only grow, as every mistake now carries double the cost in such a tight championship. Off-track, contract talks and future line-ups are already heating up, adding more fuel to the drama. Fans can expect new car updates, evolving strategies, and perhaps even more shocks from rookies and midfield teams hungry for points. Weather, safety cars, and split-second decisions will continue to shape the outcome. The "what's next" moment of 2025 is simple: the fight is wide open, and every race could rewrite the story. With so much still to play for, the second half of the season promises to be even more explosive than the start.